Poetry. Fun with ELA. Now, poetry is a literary work in which special intensity is given to the expression of feelings and ideas by the use of distinctive style and rhythm. Now, in poems, there is a rhyme scheme, and a rhyme scheme is the ordered pattern of rhyme at the end of the lines of a poem or a verse. So, for example, if a poem has a rhyme scheme of A, B, B, the first and second line will rhyme, which are the two A's, and the third and fourth lines will rhyme, which is the B, B. So here's an example of that. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder who you are. Now the star and the R rhyme, and that is the A. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. The high and the sky rhyme, and the star R high sky creates the rhyme scheme A, B, B. Now in poems there are stanzas, and a stanza is a group of lines, and they are very similar to a paragraph in a book. They are signified by a break in the line. Now there are different forms of poetry. There are over 50 forms of poetry, and the different forms vary in the rhyme scheme, the number of lines, the syllables, the rhythm, and many other things. One example of a form of poetry is a haiku. A haiku is one of the shortest forms of poetry, and it has 3 lines. The first one has 5 syllables, the second one has 7 syllables, and the third has 5 syllables again. And it's a Japanese form of poem, and they are often nature-focused. Now, here's an example of a haiku. An old silent pond. A frog jumps into the pond. Splash, silence again. Now let's break this down into the syllables. An old silent pond is 5 syllables, and that's the first line. A frog jumps into the pond is 7 syllables, and splash, silence again, is 5 syllables. Now a sonnet is another type. Now Petrarca was one of the first to use the sonnet, but William Shakespeare was who made it an English form of poem. Now the Shakespearean sonnet is different than the original sonnet, but in this video we're going to talk about the Shakespearean sonnet. Now it has the rhyme scheme A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now that means the first and third lines rhyme, the second and fourth lines rhyme, and that is the same for every stanza. Now sonnets end in a rhyming couplets, which are 2 sentences of the same length that rhyme and are a continuous thought. And that is with the GG. Now that is at the end of a Shakespearean sonnet or an original sonnet. So here's an example. When in the chronicle of wasted time, I see descriptions of the fairest wights, and beauty making beautiful old rhyme, in praise of the ladies, dead and lovely knights. Now you can see time and rhyme, they both rhyme, that's the A's, and the whites and knights rhyme. That is the same with the second stanza and the third stanza of the poem. Now, in the fourth stanza, it's a rhyming couplets, and that is this. For we, which now behold these present days, have eyes to wonder, but lack tongues to praise. Now you can see how they rhyme, and it's one continuous thought, and so that makes it a rhyming couplet. Now a limerick is another form of poem. The rhyme scheme is A, B, A, and the third and fourth lines are often shorter than the others. So the first, second, and fifth line of the poem rhyme, and the third and fourth lines of the poem rhyme. And a limerick is short, funny, and it rhymes. Here's an example of a limerick about gerbils. A creature of charm is the gerbil. Its diet's exclusively herbal. It grazes all day on bunches of hay, passing gas with an elegant burble. Now you can see that the first and second line rhyme with the fifth line, and the third and fourth line rhyme. It's a funny poem, and it's quick, and it's just a nice poem. Okay, so remember, the rhyme scheme is the ordered pattern of rhymes in a poem. A stanza is a set of lines in a poem. And there are different forms of poetry. Here are some examples. A haiku is a 3-lined nature poem. And a sonnet is a form of poem used by William Shakespeare and is long and is serious. And a limerick is a fast, funny poem. Thanks for watching this episode of Fun with ELA.